right now. Let's see if I got sound as always. Let me check out here. Let me do this. Boom. I'm gonna do this. Boom. That's what we got today, guys. The Rey, the Macanudo Cafe. Let's see if we got sound though. Okay, give me a second here, guys. Let's see. Sound check, sound check. As always, you can hear the planes. Let's see, it's coming, it's coming. It seems to be spinning. I can't tell from the camera here. It doesn't look like we are good. What is going on here? What is going on? Maybe it's just the computer. Maybe it's just the computer. Jeez, this is always a horrible start. 90% of incapacity, I should say. So happy New Year, or forthcoming New Year. We'll see if there isn't any UFC events. Right? Good. Do better research. It's one of the expedition. It's a chrono expedition. I think it's an expedition model. Very inexpensive. I believe this was like $27. This is the original strap it actually came on, except that piece right there, the clasp. I have the original clasp someplace, but really nice to get quick release. I was able to confirm that indeed I do have sound. Let's see here. Check this out. Oh, come on. Check the sound. Check the sound. Check the sound. Come on. Come on. Sound check. Okay. I do have sound. Cool. Cool, guys. Cool, cool, cool. Cool beans. No one's in the chat as usual. Oh, someone's finally joined us in the chat there. To smoke today, I have the Macanudo Cafe. Going to pair it with, even though you see the Modelo beer over there, I'm just going to use that as a chaser for, or vice versa, drink the beer and then use this Rey Azul Tequila and soda with grapefruit. It's early in the afternoon here. It's only like just about 1 o'clock. If I'm day drinking, I'm going to want something a little light, and I'm hoping this pairs well with another sort of lighter cigar. As far as, this is a Connecticut shade wrapper, and the Macanudo Cafe is just a classic cigar. When I go to Connecticut shades, my favorites, my go-tos have always been three cigars. My favorite, absolutely favorite, is the Alfred Dunhill brand cigar, which is no longer existing. They went out of business, so we can't get those. And secondly, sorry, that's annoying me. Secondly, would come the Davidoff cigars, or first, there are certain Davidoffs that are really, really just, fantastic smokes, and then Macanudo. This is a really, really nice blend of tobacco. I had the cigar on Thanksgiving. Give me a moment. Spare me a moment. I still hear the sound on this television. Come on. Oh, it's still doing it. It's so friggin' annoying. Yeah, so here, let me friggin' let me have a little bit of the beer here. Let me have a little beer since I got a, little parched here. That's so good. That tastes so good, so refreshing. But yeah, I purchased this from Holt Cigar Company, and I'm going to contact them to see if I can't get it returned for repair. I don't know if it's an off one, but the problem is, and I knew it was going to be a problem, is, oh, it's lighting now. It's igniting now. I don't know if it uses a flint or electronic initiator to spark the flame, but either or, God, that's annoying me. I can't help myself. Come on. No. 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 This is really. All right, I got to go and get something. This is really, really annoying. Okay. Woo. All right. All right, folks. Welcome, Bow Betters. Welcome, Bow Betters. What's going on, people? Yeah, so we're gonna have this Macanudo Cafe cigar. I don't know how I am in frame. If I am indeed in frame, really technical problems. A little hoping for a little year in review of our smokes. Let me make sure that we're still broadcasting here. Always having issues. Always having issues. Yeah, I'm still broadcasting. Still there. Still there. Yeah, still there. Still going, guys. All right. All right. All right. All right. Yeah, look at how easy that is. Yeah, Macanudo Cafe, Connecticut shade, Mexican. I believe it's um, San Andreas binder, Mexican and San Andreas binder, so that gives it a little robustness. The thing I like most about the Macanudos and the Connecticut shade cigars, like everyone else, it is very light and creamy. It has I loved both the Dunhill and the Davidoffs that had this hint of butterscotch to them, and light toffee that was just fantastic. This has some of those notes. It is a little heavier than each of those two, and it's in a good way. It's in a good way that it is heavier, and I believe it is a Dominican binder, although I'm not certain of that. So this is a really nice blend, and this was a very affordable cigar. I got this on clearance at Benny's. Sorry I didn't go to Norwood Park Royal Cigars, but there is a lot of those cigars in here. Really nice, light. I had this, as I mentioned before, on Thanksgiving Day, and it was perfect for heavy drinking. Figurados. One of the things I love most about these figurados is how easy they are to cut. You get a really good, the little peepee gets in there, right, and you get a really nice cut. And look at that. Look at that. Look at that peepee cut. Look at that. Really nice cigar. Nice smoke. Yeah, so again, Happy New Year's. Welcome to MMA Sip and Smoke, where we discuss fine cigars, MMA, and tends to be beer. But today we're not having beer. We're having another libation. Guys, there are no rules to this, as I always mention. You could drink what you want with cigars. I don't care if it's orange juice, if it's soda, if it's beer, you want a whiskey, you want a scotch. This whole stereotype that, it's got to be scotch or cognac or Armagnac. No, wine will work. Champagne will work. This cigar right here would be fantastic. A nice Connecticut with champagne, because these cigars really have a sort of a hint, if you were comparing them to the wine world, of that like Pinot Grigio, of a Chardonnay, of a Sauvignon Blanc, or even a Champagne. If we had that little hint of a Champagne character to it with a little sweetness, that would be fantastic, right? Uh, yeah. So, installation of the year, MMA picks. MMA, the sipping and smoking's been better than MMA gambling. The cigar quality, the cigar picks, all in here, right, have been far superior to my gambling. And in some, I ended up losing another $150 in the last event. My friends killed it. I did horrible. Went hard on Durden, but at the end of the year, I'm down $600. I end up being down $600 for the year. Gambling rough. Last year was a positive. I was up like a total of over like 1,700, and then the year before that was fabulous. I was up like $3,600, and the year before that I was up over $4,000. So what a decline! What a decline! And that's just the way it goes. That's people that play slots, people that play or that do any sort of gambling. There's going to be ups and downs. You got to expect that. So not a good year. $600 is still a lot of money. That pays for a trip, pays for a new computer. I definitely needed to upgrade the whole technology side of what I do. I'm technically somewhat savvy. I could do better on this production here. Maybe that will help get some more views. But I think I'm right on in terms of what we're smoking, like the New World. This was the Cameroon, I believe. Yeah, the Cameroon. Let's just look at some of the cigars in review that we had, because we're not going to be able to gain anything on the betting side. We're not going to be able to. This was another New World. Which one was this one? Which New World was this one? Satisfaction guaranteed. I'm not certain which. This wasn't the Dorado. This might have been the Connecticut. Let's see what else we got in here. What else do we got? What's in the bag? What's in the bag? Olivia Series V, right? La Aroma. This was on the Figurado. I don't know if I did a show on that one. Maduro, La Aroma Maduro. These Rocky Patel. This is from, I believe, the Mexican San Andreas, right? It's Drew Estates, right? Nica, look at the Plasencia. I don't know if we did sips and smokes on all of these, but these are the cigars, most of the cigars that I had this year that I've been smoking. Just Hoyo de Monterrey, excellent cigar. These Alec and Bradleys, I have a bunch of these. I really went through a lot of these. Here's another Alec and Bradley. And come back and go to Nora Park Royal Cigars and try to buy the rest of those. They were like in that $13 cigar range. Fantastic smoke. Definitely one of the better cigars I had of the year, because it was just aged so well. Let's see what else we got in here. Let's see what else we got. This was the Gloria Cubana Series R Maduro. I don't know. I think we might have done a show on that. There's another Drew Estates. This is probably the La Vieja Habana. La Vieja Habana is probably the best under $5 cigar you could buy right here. The Drew Estate. This one here, which is this one? Is this Karen Prager? Karen Prager? Karen P. Right? That was, I don't recall that smoke. It's definitely mine. H. Upman. I don't recall which one that one. Another San Luis Rey. Another Best Buy. Under $5. Those are more Hoyos. More of that Alec Bradley. We got a whole bag full of these things. I'm going to try to do something. The Plasencia 146, that was a Connecticut, really excellent cigar. There's my favorite cigar, period. I think the cigar of the year for me. It's been a cigar of the year for a lot of people. the AJ Fernandez New World right there, the New World Dorado, just the best smoke you could buy. Right here, the Flor de las Antillas. What a beautiful wrapper. I actually obtained the 20th anniversary box. I just bought it, the humidor. I don't know if I showed you guys that. I might grab that later on here and show you that box. Beautiful box. You know, My Father, excellent cigars. I don't know if there's a bad My Father cigar made. Another Alec and Bradley Project 40, fantastic smoke. I think we did a review on that one. What else do we got in here? I gotta recollect all of these. Which one was this one? La Natividad, was that? No, Antiguidad. Another My Father cigar. Wow, look at the band on this thing. Just stunningly beautiful. Another Dorado wrapper there. Another New World there. Yeah, there's another Olivia. Is that a Series V? Series G? Because I think we had, yeah, this is a Series G. I think we did a review of the Series G as well. Really great cigars, the Oliva. What else do we have in here? I thought I had more diversity. Another My Father. There's another Series G. Yeah, so quite a few good cigars that we've gone through, guys. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Errors, for the people that do smoke, these guys make good weed. I'm not able to smoke weed anymore. Oh, try to get that wrapper. Oh yeah, so I save all these bands. I'm gonna make some kind of little box or something for them. See if, you know, I don't want to do the typical ashtray. Barely even use spending money on any of that. Well, but yeah, here in cigars, if you watch this show, you definitely learned a lot about cigars as well. We did a review of the beers and a look back at them, man. We had some, you know, fantastic beer. I think for sure the guys, Microphone Brewing, really good beers, but the guys over there at God, I only drink them all the time on Lincoln. God, it escapes me. Look at what an idiot I am. I'm losing my mind with my old age. But they definitely had the best beers this year. What was our beer? I have to look at my channel, like just off the head. I'm just a little tired, and we're getting there. Let me get into the smoke here. But today, yeah, we're gonna have this Rey Azul. Right, we're gonna have the Macanudo Cafe with this Rey Azul. Yeah, it's clear, of course. I'm gonna have it over ice. No one's joined me in the chat at all. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, let's see. Oh, I can't believe I forgot, like, my favorite beer company of the year. That's pathetic. It's probably why I lost $600 this year. Yeah, I got this lighter. I just filled it. Yeah, not a good purchase, this one. I hear it puttering. Yeah, it's not holding the gas as much anymore. This thing's brand new. I've had it for like less than 2 months. So I'm hoping they could do something with it. We'll see. Never dropped it. Just really not a quality product. Very disappointing. Yeah, I have to keep doing that. That's not good. Very disappointing. Yeah, it's holding the flame a little. Then it stopped. Yeah, so disappointing. Holt Cigar Company, a little disappointed in this. This is not a very good product here. Not a good product. Very brand new. It's not holding the flame. Difficult to light. It doesn't use a flint. I think it's an electrical sort of ignition or whatever you would call it. That's only a little better. Very disappointing. Still no one in the chat. It's all right. Oh, so disappointing. Hopefully I can find the receipt for this thing. If not, I think I'll call them, and they're pretty good about returns, I would hope. It's a shame because it's a beautiful lighter. Beautiful piece, right? Just a shame. Right away, great aromas on this cigar. Great aromas, man. Really, really nice. Really nice. Disappointing. From disappointing to just relaxation. You know, this cigar would be excellent with the contrast, like a coffee, like just coffee, or with a stout. Like my buddy who likes stout, like this would be a great cigar to pair with stout. We're pairing light with light, so we're not giving it a lot of contrast. We're trying to go for that light, fruity sort of tasting note that I hope that this soda would add to the cigar, would complement it. Really toasty. Like I said, a little hint of coffee. It has a little, even though it's light, it still has a little robust light characteristic, because I think that San Andreas binder really gives it this little spicy note, this little slight fullness of flavor, along with it being that light Connecticut shade, creamy, sort of more. This one has more. A little more like walnut taste to it, not quite cashew. I prefer the cashew sort of tasting note, but it has more of a walnut. It's got a nutty taste because it has that, again, that I think that Mexican San Andreas binder. You can't avoid getting back to that. I definitely want to go to San Andreas. Again, the watch check guys, inexpensive. The quick release straps are just a game changer. If you purchase a watch, having multiple straps and the ability to put this on all kinds of straps. I've used this as a casual watch, as a dress watch. I've used this at work, right, as a daily beater. This is almost one of my daily beaters. Excellent for $27. Looks great. It has that Timex lume. Indigo, I'm sorry, they call it the Indigo, where it actually lights up the whole face of the watch. Looks excellent. You could read it. A nice, highly readable, great watch for the price. Macanudo Cafe. Let's taste this Azul. Oh my god, that's so good. That is so good. That grapefruit. And there's part of it I don't like. I don't know if it's because it's supposed to have a hint of sea salt. I taste that salt. But it has that diet aspartame-ish kind of taste to it, which I don't like. Right, so I can't give the finish is just disgusting. The start is there. The grapefruit's there. It's nice and juicy. I taste that salt, but that sort of Diet Coke, Diet 7-Up. I actually like it. Of all the diets, I like the Diet 7-Up and the Diet Ginger Ale the best. And this has, not really. The finish is just that little too much of that Diet aspartame taste. I'm still going to drink the damn thing, but not for me. But the start is really good. I think if you're a fan of these seltzers, this might be the one for you, because if you like grapefruit, the grapefruit comes out so good, so good. Yeah, it's the finish. The finish, guys, horrible, horrible. Gave it a try. You know, gave it a try. We give honest opinions here. You know, honest opinions of what we're drinking, and I'm gonna give the Rey Azul. I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3. Maybe on a 10 scale, and that's just because it has a nice start, but the finish is just horrible. I'm gonna give this product here. Even though Joey doesn't want the product reviews, I'm gonna give this a 3 because it looks beautiful, but it just doesn't function very well. When it did work, the first 2 weeks or first 3 weeks worked well. I don't know what's happened, but I'm gonna refill it. I might take it apart. I don't think so. I'm gonna see if I could get this returned and exchanged and or refunded, and if not, I'll keep it. But do not buy this thing for right now until I went to Holt Cigar. I think other people buy these. They AJ Fernandez. They come in various different cigar brands. Great looking product, but if it's not functioning after less than 1 month, I mean, man, does it even deserve a 3? I mean, we're talking about something that's not for consumption. This is for use. And if it's not working, why would it get a point rating at all? Because now it just becomes a paperweight. So as a paperweight, this is a nice, solid, yeah, I guess a 3 or a 2. We'll give it a 2. We'll downgrade it to 2 as a paperweight, because there's other more beautiful paperweights. And the moment somebody like, hey, a nice paperweight or nice piece you got there, what is that? And you open it up and it's lighter and it doesn't work right. It just isn't cool anymore. So low rating on that. I think I'm starting to get a cold too. That's affecting my palate quite a bit. I'm not able to taste the creaminess as well right now. I'm primarily tasting the binder. I think that sort of richer, stronger, more full note of the cigar. No pepper. Great for a beginner. If you got a beginner cigar smoker or somebody that's not familiar with cigars, the Connecticut Shade is a no-brainer. You go to the Connecticut Shade wrappers, something that's even maybe even a Corona size that isn't as full as this particular cigar, so they're not intimidated by it at all, where it isn't as pronounced in terms of how it hits the palate. Because this, with this torpedo shape, is going to get, I'm going to get a very, very good draw on it. I'm going to be able to really get a full amount of smoke into my mouth, and it's going to be a very robust draw. Nice. Perfect for today, guys. Perfect. Oh, last week. Wow, let's talk about last week, because that was I threw some money on Kobe Covington. Not quite as a flyer. That was like his worst performance ever. Like the wrestling was horrible. The striking was horrible. The game plan was horrible. The movement was horrible. The defense was horrible. I mean, I think a ton of people. I don't think he could have beat half the people he has defeated before if he fought the way that he did that night. He wouldn't have beat Masvidal. He would have gotten obliterated, more obliterated by Usman if he fought that way. He wouldn't have beat. He wouldn't have even beat Damon Maya with the way he performed that the other night. Like he wouldn't have beat anybody in the top 10, if not even the top 15 in the division, with the way he fought. So I don't know what happened, if he was injured. I mean, he has been out for 2 years. He had that broken, his problems with his jaw, problems with his teeth. Maybe there was some other thing that was there, but psychologically, besides the physical attributes, psychologically, with his game plan, with this fighting style, was just horrible. You're not gonna beat Rocky, standing on the feet with him, right? You've got to mix in some takedowns. I mean, he is the best kickboxer and striker in the division, right? So if you don't mix it up and with some grappling, you're not going to have a chance. You're not going to beat him, right? Strickland was able to do that to Adesanya, but he came in with a strategy and a style that allowed him to beat Adesanya, right? Like Kobe didn't come in with that. Like he didn't come in with the proper style that's going to take to beat Leon Edwards. It just isn't going to work that way. So I lost that one. That was probably the most disappointing one because, I had good odds on Kobe. I got him at like plus 180, which is pretty decent. And then I get my friends keep texting about an event that we're supposed to have tonight. I don't know if someone's canceling. I have to look at that in a little bit, but hopefully everything's cool with that. Because I took today off to just go out and celebrate Christmas with some old friends from the swim team here in Chicago. Local bar, The Cabin. We're going to The Cabin. It's on Pulaski and Irving. If you're ever in Chicago, want a nice, not quite a dive bar, but a nice, quiet neighborhood bar that isn't crazy. You're not going to have crazy people. It's not going to be bourgeois. And it's, just a regular north side, very average, very typical Chicago, down to earth, very clean, beautiful place. Like clean. The owner, Harry is also, I believe, a floral designer and landscape person. So there's always beautiful decorations, especially around Christmas. Beautiful flowers, great lighting, just always, and he keeps the place clean. I like that. I like going to clean bars. I don't mind dive bars. I'm a dive bar guy, also fine bar guy, but I don't like going into to like bars where you walk in and it smells like piss. Right? You just walk in the door. You don't even go by the washroom and you could already smell it. It smells like piss. I'm like, I used to think, yeah, this is my kind of place. Now I'm like, fuck, smell that shit. I'm like, if you smell that, the bartender's probably the type of guy that doesn't wash his hands, or after he goes to take a piss. Same with the ladies. If the bartender's a woman, she probably doesn't wash her hands, right? How clean is the bar? How clean are the bottles, right? Do they wipe down and clean their hands ever so frequently when they're making their drinks? They pink their nose, or I don't know. And so I like going to places like The Cabin because I love the cleanliness of it. I love its coziness. It's comfy. It's inviting. Really cool people. I've never heard anybody raise their voice in the place when I've been in there. Very mellow, just nice, respectful place, and that's what I enjoy. I probably am the biggest scumbag in there when I walk in there when I'm there. So that tells you the kind of place it is. So it's a nice place. Getting better. Getting better. I love that. I love that when the cigar had already changed its character. We're not even in the middle yet, and it's already softening up, right? That the binder, that fuller, more robust flavor that was sort of dominant is beginning to mellow. It's dissipated and it's smoothed out. Where now you're getting that, like I said, that more of that walnut or peanut sort of characteristic to it. That's nice and light, but with a little toastiness to it. Little, you could taste the smoke in it. Mm. Yeah, very nice. Very impressed with this cafe. I wish I would have bought more Oh no, I did. I did buy the last four over there at Binny's that were on sale, and I think these were like $4. They were originally like 13, and they were like on the last bin. If you're going to Binny's, what I recommend you do, first thing you do, with any Binny's you go to, they have what's called like the last call or last bin. Go ask the guy there if or just look at. Sometimes they put all the last bin on the table to the side. Go to those cigars first, and if there's a cigar you recognize, like this Cafe, buy all of them. Just buy all of them. I did that with the La Aurora Torpedoes as well, and the La Aurora Figurado Maduro. That was their steal. I got about a handful of those. Just bought all the rest of them. Like if they're that good of a deal, they're like they're better over less than half price. Right, the cigar was like 70% off, almost 80% off. I was like, it was a no-brainer. I'm like, oh, it's originally $12, and you got it for $4.95. I'm taking the last four, right? So it's a no-brainer. If I don't work tomorrow, going to Norwood Park Cigars here in Chicago. They have a Alec and Bradley Christmas event, which is going to be a no-brainer. Man, that store, every time I walk in there, I spend at least $100, $150 in cigars. They do have like the best selection right now. They buy inventory so they can sit on it. Like they're, the gotta see. I'm not feeling 100%. So like the Dorado cigars, the New World cigars that I like, their boxes and their selection there, I had to buy some more. Like even though I had some, they look like they've been there for like 3 or 4 years, right? I looked at the cellophane; they were all like coated in the oils of the cigar, and I'm like, man, these things probably been here 3 years. I had to get a handful of them, and I spoke to the guy, I forget his name, in there. We mentioned, yeah, we buy enough cigars that we have an inventory that we can age here ourselves, and so it's just a no-brainer. It's also a no-brainer that like if somebody wants some of my better cigars, and if some of the ones that I only have one or two of, I could just say no, and I'd be like, Norwood Park is just down the street here. I'm like, I got you. I got the best humidor. I have the best cigars or access to the best cigars in Chicago and probably even the country. Some of them in the country. I mean, the place is that good. At least looking at other cigar shops on video, like the selection at Norwood Park Cigars is unparalleled, man. They got stuff there that you can't. They've got some older Opus X in recently, the Opus X 20s from I think it was like 5 years ago. They got, I don't know what quantity they got, but they got some of those in. They also got the other Opus X, some of these other limited editions that were released years ago. They have another run of them right now. That's what I'm scared to go in there because I'm going to buy some of those. The cigars are probably going to be $40 a piece, and I want some, and I'm trying to save some money here. I'm working hard, but trying to save some money so that once Christmas season's over, we could travel, go on a surf trip here and there. But I'm just busting ass. I wish I could be surfing these days. It's just tough, man. It's tough to afford to everything. I'm not rich. I'm not a wealthy person, but to miss work and still be able to travel, getting there, spending money in a hotel, or Airbnb, lodging, food, it adds up. So it's just tough. We're going to make another plan. Let's see if I make a different move. I keep thinking of making a move, doing something different, going back to Cali, right? Going back to Cali and changing the life up again. But we'll see. We'll see, guys. For now, it's beautiful here in Chicago. It's a beautiful day. I can't believe how warm it is. I'm out here in the middle of December, like with the shirt on, smoking a cigar. You can't beat this. Drinking a beer out on the porch. It's incredible. I don't even have my coat on yet. So it's good that I have the beer as a backup because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish these Rey Azuls. I don't think they're complimenting the cigar at all. I think they're gonna take away, even though that has a seltzer. Maybe you can clean the palate a little bit. And seltzer water is like Pellegrino or soda water. are fantastic with cigars. It cleans the palate. It refreshes your tongue, refreshes your mouth. That's another good pairing. Water. Water is a great pairing with cigars. It doesn't even need to be uh, a soda water or a mineral water. It can be just a plain water, right? Anything that just cleans the palate or something that can complement the palate, like a beer, wine, champagne. There aren't any rules, guys. I love these people that take these photos, and I'm on Facebook groups and stuff, and they always have a photo. 9 times out of 10, it's a photo with the whiskey, cigar with the whiskey, or scotch, right? 9 times out of 10. Couple beers here and there, but for the most part, scotch. And I don't know, great guys, have what you want, enjoy what you want, but I'm a man of the people. I'm speaking to nobody, but I'm a man of the people here, and I say, drink what you want. Anything will complement a cigar well. Anything would help. Drink what you want. There are no rules to it. You want to drink some Fanta, you know, pineapple jarito, manzanilla, an apple sort of soda. Go on ahead. Go on ahead. A Pepsi, just one Pepsi. Go on ahead. Drink your Pepsi with your cigar. Coffee would be good with this thing. Nice coffee with this cigar would complement it really, really well. Although it would go well with a nice Chardonnay. Nice Chardonnay or a Pinot Grigio, or even a glass of champagne or a mimosa. A mimosa would be really nice with the cigar. Champagne with orange juice would be really, really nice with the smoke. Margarita, nice margarita. That's why I got this thing, because it was more of a grapefruit margarita. I think the grapefruit would have complemented it better if there wasn't that aspartame sort of other flavor there to it. But yeah, so disappointing betting year, right, for the most part. But it was a good year overall, just in MMA, like great fights, right? Even on that card, there were great fights. Ooh. Trying to think of good upcoming fights. There are a few of them. Who's going to fight Luque? I think Luque is going to fight somebody. I got UFC stats in the background here. In a moment, when I get up to go and get another beer, I'll try to switch over to see what's on the up and coming in UFC stats. What if there's like some potential dog money? I like that the UFC event in Canada. I'm gonna hopefully I could get some decent odds on Malat. Right, I think he's going to be a favorite to win that. Hopefully he's not like blown up. His number isn't just like ridiculously large. A little crack there. I'm wondering if in my Tupperware I'm getting the right humidity, or if I'm not getting enough humidity to these cigars. Nice toastiness. Yeah, it's that aspartame taste. The ice is melting and it's watering down the drink, which is helping combat the sort of diet. No, there it is. Hate it. Ugh. Disgusting. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Has that nice grapefruit at the start, but the finish is just oh god, just disgusting. Horrible. Don't have a drink that you don't like with your cigar. I'll finish this thing, but I'm not going to finish another one with the cigar while I'm smoking the cigar. Definitely no way. No way. Let me go get another beer. Maybe somebody will join us in the chat. Johnny Walker on a cloud. Mateus Nicolau and Manal Cop. That's going to be a banger. Ricky Simone, Amaro Bautista. That's going to be a banger. Caitlin Vieira, Macy Chastain. Caitlin Vieira, I'm going to favor on that. Damn, Andre Orlovsky fighting again against Waldo. You know, Orlovsky, you can hold off Waldo. He could be probably good dog money. He's still going at it. It's crazy. Norma Dumont, we already know Norma. She's bad. Yana Santos a bad lady too. I think that's going to be a potential title challenger there. Nicholas Mota versus Tom Nolan. I don't like that at all. But man, it doesn't look like a great card there. Phil Halls versus Bruno Vieira. And they're really pushing Phil Halls. He's trying to get with it. Welcome, Bowbetters. Welcome, Bowbetters. Welcome. Did anybody join us while I was away? No? Figure it out. Jacket on. I don't get sick out here, even though I think it's nice and warm. Sun is beating on me nice and well. Yeah, so like I mentioned before, I bought this cigar box that is also like a humidor. Odd size, crazy big. So it's tough to find a Tupperware for it. This would be, Norwood Park Cigar still has some of these cigars left. So I'm probably going to buy a few of those to put in here so that I actually have some of the cigars and it's not just a fancy box. But I got this on Facebook Marketplace. Good deal. I basically paid $15 for this cigar box. I'm going to put this down. Bird shit or something. Best place to take this out. But yeah, this was like when this came out, I mean, just beautiful, like nice felt packaging here. Right, beautiful felt packaging. This nice felt wrapper here. Nice felt bottom. Look at that burgundy bottom there. Look at this box, man. This is the most beautiful cigar box I've ever seen, and I had to have it. Look at this thing. My father. Look at the sticker there. This was number 2158 out of 5,000. Right, there's the number there. Look at that. Look at the detail. Beautiful. Look at the back of that. Just stunning, just gorgeous. And then when you open it up, look at, has that print in there again. Beautiful Spanish cedar, thick, nice quality wood. Beautiful, beautiful cigar box. Again, one of the most beautiful cigar boxes I've ever seen. And now I own it. I have one. I have one of these. Awesome. If I find something similar to this, I would buy it. There's a lot of other ones out there, but nothing at this price. I mean, look at the detail like of the bands that go all around it. This beautiful, almost like ivory-like inlay, right? It came with some Toro, so I got to get some of the cigars that are individually coffined. And I think these cigars, the cigars are only like $25 a piece, or $30 a piece, maybe more, but not much more. So I can afford. I'm gonna get like 4 of them to put in here, if I can find 4 of the coffins. So I'll have some of them in here. I think there were 12 in this box originally, but just look at that. And this is actually in there underneath the coating, right? So just beautiful, 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 beautiful. So it's not a sticker. It's actually, this one's a sticker here, but not here. This is actually in the box, right? So I got this box, $15. Again, look at the inside. Same thing, really, Flor de las Antillas. I love this, the sticker that they had for the warranty seal. Just beautiful, nice felt bottom. My father, just fabulous. Just beautiful, beautiful piece that I was able to obtain. $15, can't beat it. I would have paid more. I would have paid more just for the box. I think I see it out there for like $40. I think if you could find it for $40, I say buy it. I say just get it if you're a cigar enthusiast. You could use it as in various ways, right? To keep your jewelry in, maybe to keep those the cigar bands there. Keep it on your desk or someplace opened, and as a box to throw all your cigar bands, right? Just fill it with cigar bands on your mantle or whatever, and the box is just like a piece of furniture, not furniture, but like an accessory there. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful piece. Does anybody come in chat still? No one came in the chat still. Been going now for almost an hour. The Anaklaev, I'm glad that they're going to run that back. You got to hand it to Johnny Walker. He's down. He wants that smoke. That's why I might throw some. I think I did throw a little money on him the last fight by TKO. Because if he stuffs a couple takedowns, Anaklaev striking is not that good. And Johnny Walker's got great long range. Lacks that aggressive characteristic. Lacks defense. And is chinny. We saw that when he did the worm, one of the best knockouts ever. He does the worm and then gets, dances, and then looks like he's dancing as he gets knocked out. So Anaklaev does have that power, but Johnny Walker, just if he could move, avoid the takedown, and he wasn't really able to do it that first time. So that's the scary thing there, is that Anaklaev has just such good wrestling for a big guy. Just such good wrestling that it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Duplessis Strickland's going to be very interesting, because Duplessis got a chin, and Strickland, even though he got knocked out, Strickland's got a chin. And despite what people have seen, Strickland's got some good jiu-jitsu, and he could grapple. So that one is one of the more intriguing fights. If I'm going to cap it, I'm going to have it be close to even money, like that minus 115 to a slight edge to actually do places because of that advantage in power and the slight wrestling advantage. But we haven't seen that, that Strickland Jiu-Jitsu, right? He is, I believe, a brown belt or a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, can grapple, can wrestle, just chooses not to. So I'm, going to cap it at that minus 110 to minus 100 sort of area. Basically it's sort of even money. Not necessarily a coin flip, but yeah, or coin flip, a little coin flip bet. I think you could go either way. Now let's see if Vegas sees it in that same context. If there's a bigger number on one guy as a dog than another, I'm definitely going to side with the dog. But for now, I think we're going to see even money, and I think we're going to see a lot of action on that particular card as well as on that particular bet. We saw at the conference, Cheeto and O'Malley. Yeah, after Cheeto getting smoked by Sandhagen, after seeing that, like if Sandhagen does that to him, I mean, although Sandhagen did use some grappling, he mixed it up, but he really did outstyle him on the feet as well. I think that he's going to be open to be knocked out by O'Malley. That's why Cheeto's the dog there, has his chance, but I think O'Malley is potentially, I don't know if he's going to finish Cheeto, right? Cheeto is tough to finish. I don't think he's ever been finished in the UFC. Cheeto does have some good jiu-jitsu, but his wrestling's just not all there, right? We haven't seen him utilize any of his wrestling. His takedown defense is horrible. What do we have to worry about that with O'Malley? O'Malley's got no wrestling whatsoever either, right? Both of them have great get-up games. Both of them fantastic get-up games for both of them. So I think all being said is going to be on the feet, and O'Malley's just going to be able to style him. He's the younger, faster, just better, stronger, better reach, snappier kicks. Even though Cheeto's got some really strong kicks too, but that speed advantage of O'Malley, and O'Malley's just got better movement all the way around, both head movement, defensive movement, offensive movement. Another big advantage of O'Malley is O'Malley he's one of those fighters that still has pop in his punches and kicks, even if he's moving backwards. And that everyone knows how hard it is to have that. O'Malley has it. So I'm really, favoring O'Malley in that particular bout coming up next year. And we'll see, what it is. O'Malley's been a breadwinner for me of late. I've been making money off of him, and that's why I went with Durden last week, because I'm rolling with my dogs, especially a dog, when they've been winning money for me at that dog money. I got to roll with them again, and that was another bet that I lost last week, and that's what cost me. Right, that was the $200 loss that I incurred, and then I won another bet, so recovered. But that was the majority of my $150-$200 loss last week were those two bets. Cody Durden and Kobe Covington. So not a lot of bets last week. That was the other thing, guys. I made like 4 bets last week. I'm happy with myself. That's one thing over years of gambling that has it hurt me? I would say yes and no, right? Like I used to take that $200 to $400 and spread it across 13. It started off like at 40 bets, and I always mention this. And I went down to like 20 something bets, and now then I went down to 12 bets or 10 bets, and now I'm at like 3 or 4. Good and bad, right? It sort of mitigates my losses, but I also lose opportunity on some of those overseen bets and props and some of the things that I used to bet that I'm not hitting anymore. So I got to really analyze it a little bit more, think about it, what it is that I'm doing, my strategy and my betting technique, not just my pickings, right? Not just my picks, but how I'm gambling. I need to reanalyze that. And I think that a lot of cappers, a lot of people don't mention that you have to have a strategy, right? It's not just picking the winners. Sure, picking the winners is fantastic. Like, picking winners is easy. It's how we bet those winners. Because we could all, like, my buddy Alex hit some big parlays last week. He slammed some big numbers on some chalk. Great strategy. So the big favorites were winning. So That's a good strategy, right? Let me do something here. Yeah, working with a cigar in my mouth is always tough. But gambling, just like in gambling when you're in poker or you're playing some of these other types of games, other things, having a plan is important. So my plan has been better. I would say the fewer bets is better, but has it cut me off from some opportunity? Is the question I have for people. Like, is it better to spread yourself wide, have these various bets at various increments, right? Should I go back to the 10 bets, 12 bets a fight, right? Like betting every fight something in that particular fight, because that was what I started doing. I bet almost every fight, right? We're at least picking 5 or 6 fights and betting something, whether it's a distance prop or a method prop or parlaying some of these things here. So who's Song Yadong fighting? Song Yadong's coming up next year too. He's in a good matchup where I'm slightly favoring Song because Song, he doesn't have wrestling, and he's fighting a wrestler, I believe. Who's Song fighting? Evilov is fighting again. Who's Evilov fighting? I forgot who Evilov is fighting. I love me some Mosabar Evilov. I don't think that we saw. I mean, he dominated Lopes. Lopes had him in some like a couple leg locks, some compromising positions, and we saw that Evilov, man, if he worked on his jiu-jitsu, his wrestling is good, his striking is good, but if he worked on his actual jiu-jitsu, he'd be champ, or he'd have a chance of becoming the champion. And I don't think he's going to have that chance because wrestling alone isn't going to get you there. Because I mean, look at Kobe Covington. Even if you have wrestling and if you're able to implement it well, you're not always going to win, right? You're going to get there. I mean, look at Patty Pimblett. That was another small sprinkle. I put a small sprinkle on Ferguson because I had to, right? Like, there's the chance, big dog money, nothing big, just a lottery ticket, little small thing that I bet there. Uh, didn't lose very much, right? It didn't cost me big. Who else was on the stage? Who's Volkanovski fighting? Not he's not fighting. Who's Volkanovski fighting? Mr. Chill. Nice. Volk's gonna be tough to beat. Volk's gonna be very tough to beat. That he's just a beast, just a monster. Yeah, he did get knocked out, but that's Islam. Islam is a bad dude, and he's going up. Even Volk went up a weight class to fight him. It's gonna be very interesting. Oh, he's Taporia, Ilya Taporia. Taporia's got he's got his hands full. Taporia got rocked. Even just Herbert rocked him, the Englishman, but that's a whole different matter. That's another Jai Herbert, great kickboxer. Trains with Leon Edwards, very similar style. Great speed, long, rangy guy. He almost had Taporia finished in that first round. I don't think Volk is that guy. Volk has become a recent finisher, but I think Volk could grind on him. Taporia isn't fantastic off his back. He has a good top game. He's a good jiu-jitsu practitioner. He's got to have the huge speed advantage. But the defense of Volk, both in the striking and the takedown defense, and his own wrestling, like improved wrestling. I love the change in his game, Volkanovski. I love when martial artists develop their game, right? He's not content being with his style. Like he's going with Craig Jones, training with Craig Jones, and just improved his jiu-jitsu and his grappling game leaps and bounds. And it's always good to see that, right? It's always just impressive to see that leap in your ability when you're already part of the elite. And I wish someone like Israel Adesanya did that, right? Like it just never even thinks of improving his jiu-jitsu game, right? Like maybe he's doing that now. If he was at the bar lamenting, or if he's doing something, he should be over there with Craig Jones, saying, "Hey, Craig, I love what you've done with Volkanovski. Come to New Zealand, or I'm going to stay in Australia, and I'm going to train with you. I'm going to get serious about my wrestling, and I want to have a full, different type of MMA array of striking, right? I think he should go and train with a boxing coach, not just a kickboxing coach, but get some boxing in his game. So not just for the purpose of using it offensively, so that he understands, the Philly shell a little bit better, right? He understands like other boxing methodologies better, so he could use it, input that to his strategy and to what he's doing offensively himself to be a better counter fighter, right? Do some more boxing. Right, I think Israel Adesanya's got to do those two things: do some more boxing, right? Do some strength training, as well as do some wrestling and jiu-jitsu. He's got a great body for jiu-jitsu. Like if Israel Adesanya like fucking knew jiu-jitsu like really well, I mean he does know jiu-jitsu, and he fucking choked me out in a moment. I know it, but to these other guys that are like top level like grapplers and wrestlers, if he had that in his game, I mean, he'd be dangerous, dude. He's got long legs, long arms, man. There are things he could wrap people up he could wrap them up so easily if he just had that in his game. But he's not doing it. These guys, they got there a certain way, and when you're already champion like him, look at John Jones. John Jones improved his grappling, improved his wrestling. He's like, you know what? I'm going to heavyweight. You know what I need to do? I gotta get bigger. I gotta eat more and become a bigger boy. Out there, strength training, powerlifting. We're practicing his jiu-jitsu with Gordon Ryan, upping his jiu-jitsu game, right? I think like what John Jones should do is, go train with Lyoto Machida, get his karate game, his karate, his add some elements to his his striking game, where he's gonna just use like more of a karate style or taekwondo style, staying away from these guys, right? He won't even need to engage Stipe. He could fucking literally kick him to heaven, kick him into the fucking shadow zone as he coming in, improve his kicking game with his long legs. Go to taekwondo, kung fu, go train with Wonder Boy. Even though Wonder Boy got finished this week, Romanov didn't want any of that smoke. He didn't want to stand and trade with Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy is one of the best strikers in UFC history. I would argue that. Everybody that's beat him has used wrestling. Nobody wants to stand and trade with that guy, right? He's one of the best, right? So I think that John Jones, and I think that's the future of Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy is going to be a great coach. I think Wonder Boy is going to have a belt, but it's going to be through one of his fighters. Someone he trains in the future will have a UFC championship. Mark my word. It's a no-brainer. The guy's a good coach already. He should just retire. He doesn't need the money. He's already doing well. He should start training other MMA fighters now, which he already does, I believe. But get someone established, him and his father established a camp where they are elite, sort of, like the John Winkle, and this guy used to be in New Mexico. Like him and his father work on being coaches, striking coaches, right? Like Henry Hooft. And that's a tough one because a lot of people don't want to learn that karate style. They don't see it as useful. Wrong. Lyoto Machida, karate style, right? The Iceman, Chuck Liddell, karate style, right? Champions. Both were champions. Like and had longevity, right? People need to wake up that it is called mixed martial arts. Look at these guys that are uh, are coming from sambo, becoming champions, right? Sambo, I think Anaklev is a sambo guy. This dude who Tom Aspinall beat was a sambo guy. Tom Aspinall, I believe, has a taekwondo background. Like, why is he such a good striker? He has a taekwondo background. We haven't seen his kicks. He did was good. He was smart. He had some snap on his kicks. Imagine if he improves his kicking game, because he's got some power in his legs. He's got some thick legs. He's a thick lower body boy. He could kick the living shit out of somebody. If he were taller, like a John Jones, that's where Aspinall is going to have a problem. Like both in the grappling side, like the actual wrestling side, because his wrestling is nowhere near what John Jones is. And John Jones' top game is excellent. He could hold. I think he could grab Aspinall and hold him down there and just stifle him. It could be a boring ass fight, but that's all John Jones needs to do for 5 rounds. Just do what Patty did, or what Roy Val, what happened to Roy Val with Pantoja. Pantoja won that by hugging him, like literally fucking keeping him on the ground. And I think John Jones can do the same thing to Aspinall, right? Like every time Roy Val was on the feet, he was doing okay, much better than he did in the first fight, but he just couldn't stuff a takedown to save his life. And he almost had him in that 5th round, but can't stop a takedown. Wrestling has become one of the more dominant disciplines in the UFC or in MMA, because you control, like everyone says, where the fight takes place. When you're able to dictate where the fight takes place, dictate the pace of the fight, chances are you're going to have a higher probability of winning that fight, because we are on a point system, depending on what the judges and how the judges perceive, of course, control and how they're scoring control. You're going to have a better chance of winning that fight. So, yeah, interesting fights coming up this year. With Volk and Topuria. I'm hoping I can get Topuria dog money, but I think that's another one that should be almost close to even money. And we'll see where I don't know if there's a line already up at DraftKings, because that's primarily what I've been using lately. That was another thing. I did better gambling and do better when I'm at the casino. Better live gambling, right? Because it's actually faster than my phone, right? I have the phone, I have to call up the app, I have to press the buttons, I got to get there. Where at the casino, sometimes it's just as quick as, and I sit by the gate where there's actual person, and I could do 2 things and just say UFC Topuria on the money, on the money line. If it's a live bet, UFC, or if it's a live prop bet, I could say UFC Topuria via TKO method prop, right? Or method prop Topuria by TKO on a live bet, and boom, the guy finds it, boom, it's done, right? Faster than even the phone sometimes. Or the machine, like stay by a kiosk, there's a machine there, boom, have your money in there, throw your money in there, boom, hit UFC. Or you could go there, select the event, select the amount, and it says deposit to $100 or whatever it is, the bet, you put it in, done. It's even faster than the phone. So if I have the time off, I need to start going to the casino and cash betting again, rather than just doing everything on the phone. That way you avoid the live odds change. Yeah, that soft nuttiness is there. Nice rich oilness now. Very toasty. Hazelnut. hazelnut and walnut, but more hazelnut. Excellent. And it's all by that binder. I think that the binder is dominant in the cigar, and it gives it a richness to it. It's not just creamy. It's not monodimensional. It is multidimensional. It has various characteristics and multiple notes that makes this a good cigar. It's not in the 9 Club. It's in that 7.5 range, right? 7.5 range. It's an excellent cigar. It's not in the 9 Club. I'm not going to put in the 8s because it just isn't as refined as I might want it. And maybe it's just because I have already prejudice or already want a certain flavor set in my Connecticut's that this doesn't have. But highly recommend this cigar. Macanudo Cafe, great blend. This is, and blends are important. Just a great blend. I think that the beautiful combination of three, I don't know if it's what the Connecticut wrapper, if it's from Dominican or if it's a U.S. Connecticut. I assume it's Dominican because they're made out of Dominican. I remember when Macanudos had that good Jamaican. I have to remember that if I go to Jamaica, go to Cigar Farm. Although I might have the option in January or later to go to the Dominican Republic and do the whole cigar thing. But being that I'm of Mexican descent and I've been to a lot of places in Mexico and I've been to the area, I've been to Yucatan before, but I went to the beaches there and hung out. I didn't go into the jungles and the mountains and into the farms, the tobacco farms, which look just now, like looking at it, looks beautiful. Like it's old worldly. And I think, and I would argue that that is the birthplace of cigar smoke. That's just my opinion, right? I think that you look at the jungle, you look at the soil there, you look at what, the Aztec as well as Mayan and other indigenous Mesoamericans or Americans from that region, from Mexico and from Central America, in their religious practice of smoke, it's highly likely that cigar tobacco and the leaf of tobacco originated or got its start, the cultural practice of use and ceremony in that region. So it's important to me to go and take a look at it, not just on video. I want to go there and smell the soil, touch the leaves, right? Listen and look at the people there, look at the towns, the architecture, the art, right? Go into the churches, eat the food. They got great food over there. Merida and at Palencia, they got some good ass food. Listen to the music, how different the music is in that region compared to other parts of Mexico, right? That's more indigenous to that particular region, what they like. Everybody likes Mexico is very diverse in music, but you can always find what certain preferences and styles in certain places. Yeah, well, who else was on the board of the UFC championships? We got Topuria, Volk, O'Malley versus Cheeto, Strickland, Duplace. There was one more belt that was up for grabs. Whose other belt was up there that they obviously didn't talk very much? Jiri. Who's Jiri going to be fighting? Another good part about this cigar, now when it's gotten to this point, like it's sort of final third, the draw is much richer. And I'm getting that little coffee note. That's why I think that with coffee, this would have been a very, very good cigar. Paired it with something fruity, which we attempted to do and didn't get it. or complement it with something. Someone in the chat, but nobody actually said anything. Nobody actually said anything. Ooh, let me put this down. We'll get another beer. Oh, Jim Miller, Gabriel Benitez. Why are they doing that to Jim Miller, man? They keep feeding him monsters. Yeah, nobody actually said anything in the chat. All right. Another beer here. Give me a second here, guys. Let me put this box away. Get another beer. Put these away. Still nobody in the chat. I put on the hat. Notice how much chillier the sun is, starting to go down a little bit. That peak hour where it was warmer, it gets colder fast now in Chicago when that sun goes down. I still didn't get to see who was the last person on the stage. Man, my memory is just depleting. But Jim Miller fighting Benitez, man, they do not give that. I mean, Hall of Famer. What a gamer he is, dude, for his age. I'm embarrassed. Like, what an athlete. Somebody that did MMA to have that longevity and on the feet, have still some power. His jiu-jitsu is fantastic. A dangerous man. He is dangerous. Dangerous guy. And still doing it. Like, got to be a Hall of Famer. For sure. Even though he hasn't had a belt. Probably one of the best mixed martial arts practitioners without a belt. Not only without a belt, and he probably beat the person, but I don't think he's had a chance to crack at the belt. Probably the best MMA practitioner in history to not even fight in a championship event. The guy is a beast, right? He might not be that elite character, but as far as longevity and fighting the top of the top, it's fighting everyone. He's about that life. When you talk about MMA and being about the serious warrior, serious MMA practitioner, like another person that never stopped getting better at their craft, Jim Miller is one of those guys too, right? Had a great jiu-jitsu game, fantastic jiu-jitsu, improved his striking. Obviously his conditioning and his striking has gotten better over time too. Like just kept going, right? And is still now at over 40 years old, still beating, he's the gatekeeper. He's one of the best gatekeepers there are. And, just like Rafael Dos Anjos, another guy. improved his wrestling, man. That wrestling, when he got that improved wrestling, it took years, added years to his career. Rafael dos Anjos is still going now because of that improved wrestling. I don't know where he went to improve that wrestling, what he did, but he did it. I think that these guys are just going at things. Once you get that money, you can't be like Zion Williams. You can't be like these basketball players, or even some of these baseball players. I'm rich. They signed that contract. I got that money. I was guaranteed shit. I'm just gonna smoke weed and just chill out, play PS5. Get my girls on OnlyFans. Be out with these women, spend this money, and live my good life while I can. Can't be that way. Because there's a guy in the D League that's grinding right now in China, that's grinding in Israel, that's grinding over there to get into the NBA, that wants your spot, right? That needs that spot, and they're still working at it. They didn't get the opportunities you did, and they're still working at the craft. They're doing basketball drills all day, dribbling drills, shooting drills all day, every day, just still working, pegging at it to try to get to the NBA. And it's the same. I think it's the same with MMA. Like, there are still guys, like, when you're at a certain level, like Volkanovski, man, go work with Craig Jones, pay him the money to help you, with your jiu-jitsu. Same with John Jones, paying somebody to help him with the powerlifting, with getting his strength up, right? Getting a trainer to help him get to that level. Working out with Gordon Ryan, saying, what, we're not just going to be playing for a couple of days. Stay with me for a month. Gordon Ryan, stay with me for a month and let's train together for like a month, just on the mats, right? Fucking John Jones could get like another wrestler to come in and work on his wrestling. Like I said, if I were John Jones, I'd go to Wonder Boy and or Machida and be like, how can I improve my kicks? Like, what can I do? He's got great kicks already, but what can I do to get even more? What spend time with one of those two guys? And John Jones being able to, he's got good striking, he's got good kicks. The oblique kick that he does is famous. He's ended people's career. But man, if he gets his kicking game and or his movement, like, he doesn't have to move like Dominic, right? Dominic Reyes is going to be back in the fray somehow. I forget who Dominic Reyes is going to be fighting. It's a loser out of the UFC bout, I think, there in that particular one. I forget who is his opponent, but if John Jones could learn a little bit better movement, and we saw that movement from Aspinall, like, he's got it. Like, if you're a heavyweight that can move like a John Jones or an Aspinall and have that speed, which both of them have, that's what makes them the champion. That's what makes that matchup really, really good. But John Jones is going to have by far a better reach, both, especially with the legs and with the kicks and with the striking, right? So, and the wrestling's there for John Jones. Aspinall has a lot of problems with someone like John Jones because he can match the speed, he can match the striking, he has good defense, and we haven't seen him cracked, right? Because he is so good and elusive. But if he can maintain that elusiveness, maintain that speed, like, John Jones is going to be tough to beat. I think, he might, but he might not even face Aspinall. Word is he might fight Stipe, and he considers that the end of his legacy if he's got enough money, which he should have enough money. We could have had more if he wasn't such a degenerate, if he wasn't, doing cocaine and, crashing cars and fucking shooting his gun in public and doing the stupid shit that he does, beating his wife, et cetera, he still would have that Nike sponsorship. He still would have Gatorade. Which I'm certain he still has some sponsorships, but he'd have more than enough money that he would ever need. And maybe he does. And his family's all rich. They're all NFL players. So some say that if one of his brothers still used to kick his ass, even with because they're so strong. Even with his MMA knowledge, they're just so strong of people that his brothers still were able to beat the shit out of him. So imagine his brothers learned some wrestling or were in the UFC, right? They could mop up with some people. So there's some intriguing bouts coming up. Who was the last person on the panel of the 3 champions. There was another championship fight. Nice nuttiness to it, fullness. I love this Connecticut again because it just isn't light. It just isn't. It's smooth, but it has a nice nut characteristic. That profile of the hazelnut is fabulous. It tastes more now than before. It's just really, really just a nice smoke. Really perfect for this afternoon. As always, if you've made it this far, you are about better. Appreciate anybody that comes into this, watches this stuff. Please share, like, and subscribe. I don't know, most people don't do that. It's more of a little live show. We're always just talking shit. If you're not here listening to it, I understand. But please like it up. I'm going to be seen. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be doing some UFC picks, UFC videos. We're still going to be smoking cigars next year. We're still going to have some really good beers and microbreweries here. We're still going to have even wines, champagnes. We're still going to have the best of the best to come to you guys so that you learn a little bit, or have some base to when you go Canuso cigar. It likes the, whatever. We're living in the golden age of New World cigars. The cigars that are coming out of Nicaragua, Ecuador, Honduras, República, are some of the best cigars that you could buy. And it just might rival, if not better, than some of the cigars that are coming out of Havana. You don't have to have Cubans to smoke really good stuff. All cigars are different. And right now, the blends that are out there and the cigar makers that are making the cigars, fabulous, man. Just fabulous blends, fabulous cigars. Can't go wrong, guys. Same with the beer. Can't go wrong with a lot of these beers. You can go wrong with the seltzers, though, as we see. Right? The Azul, not very good. You can't go wrong with some of the gimmicky stuff like Blue Moon and all that stuff. Can't do it, guys. Not for me. You could smoke it with a cigar, without a doubt. If you like it, it's good for you. Everyone has a different palate. Everyone tastes things differently. Everybody sees the opinions of a potential fight or predicting these fights. You look at numbers. Everybody has different techniques and different ways of analyzing what their best bet is. I have mine. I wish I'm going to change it a little bit more in terms of betting strategy. Not just always look, like we were discussing, a lot of the points that I do here live is more skill-based. When I did the other previous thing was more Korean Airways. Surprised, yeah, I guess, yeah, she's already on the downslope. Coming on the northern landing strip. Yeah, she's descending rapidly. But yeah, again, if you've made it this far, you are about better. Let's do better next year in terms of our gambling, but more so, as I always want to mention to people, more so into what you do in your life to enjoy your life better. Like, I hope everyone's having a good time. Let me let my dog out. I understand we all have our ups and downs. We have our moments in life where we're struggling or something, going through something, but there's always a way back. There's always a means of enjoying where you're at that moment. Like, depression is real. It's hard to accept it. It's hard to overcome it at times, and there are a lot of ways to do it. Hopefully, you don't use using drugs and alcohol isn't always the best way. Probably one of the worst ways. But if you need to go to therapy, if you need to talk to somebody, if you find it in your religion, right? If you convert to Islam or to Christianity, look to Christianity. Religion helps you become a more peaceful, a well-rounded person. That's what I encourage people to do. Just improve the next coming year. You know, as you're getting older, even me, good advice. Like, there are things I could still do to improve my life, my situation, even over 50. Like, there are other things I can do to enhance my life for me and for the others around me. There are other things that I can do. It's an American Airlines, one of ours. There are other things I can do to be better. That's what always about better has been about. That's why I kept that better moniker as opposed to OR, as I mentioned to you guys, and added the ER, because I just didn't want my channel to be limited to just the gambling. I wanted to imply other things that not just the, you know, in slang about, do you want a little beer, buddy? Want a little beer? There you go. You don't have to have New Year's resolutions, and every day is an opportunity for you to change what you're doing every day. And we're not too late to to make some of those changes. And I'm doing some of it. Have I been stagnant? To an extent, yes. But there, it could interpret it in other different ways as well, right? But you know, seems cliche, but key is always seeing the glass, right, half full or empty, right? Either way, it's you're still winning. You still got some left, right? You still got some left, and I think we all have that little left. Again, it's not too late to improve what you're doing. There's no need to live in misery. Look forward to things. Enjoy the moment of what you're doing. Make sound decisions for yourself and better prepare yourself for your happiness. Like, you don't have to look towards me or those Tates or all those motivational people. That might not be you. You can listen to them all you want. It might not be you. You could try to get on that path, and it may not work for you. But there are things. At least as long as you're working towards anything, whether it's getting better at pool, whether playing billiards or France this year, right? That you travel someplace. Like, oh, I'm gonna make it a goal to come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Come on, I'll get you. You're cold. I know. Let's go. Up. Come on. Come on. Come on, buddy. You want to go inside? You're chilly. You look chilly. Come on. Come on. Up. Oh, you made it. You made it. Good boy. You're nice and warm. I'll get you nice and warm. I'll get you nice and warm, buddy. Yeah. Main thing is, ooh, get you there. Come on. Yeah, chest to chest. Chest to chest. You get warm with the chest to chest, buddy. Chest to chest. Come on, buddy. Oh, you're shivering. Shiver me timbers. Shiver me timbers. Maybe you should go inside if you're that cold, little buddy. You're that cold. Oh, you're cold. Come inside. Let's go inside. You got to go inside. You want to go inside, buddy? I'll make it nice and warm. See, he reached out. He was lonely and he was chilly. He wanted some attention. I'll get you in the coop. Get you in here. Get you. The dog came. What is it, buddy? It's not so cold. I got you. Why are you shivering? It's not so cold. Nice and warm. I'll get you nice and warm. I got him. Good boy. He's still shivering. Come on, you go inside. I'm gonna get you inside. I'm gonna get you inside. Here you go. Look. It is getting chillier out here. Been out here almost 2 hours, guys. Like, what a long-lasting cigar this has been, too, huh? Another big positive of this smoke, man. Able to get close to 2 hours of this thing. Mm. Come on. Mm. My presentation, that I'm a little better organized and got some more intriguing content with you guys, so that we can increase engagement, get some more people listening, participating, because it's tough just talking shit here. Well, I don't mind it. I'm talking to myself in my head anyway, so it's like this. What's happening up here just comes out there sometimes, and this is a good distraction. And it's nice to just spit it out sometimes while you're smoking a cigar. And I do smoke cigars by myself, just sitting down, meditating, relaxing. It is very relaxing, and I think that's the best part about smoking. It's good. It's smoking on the golf course, walking in the winter. Like, if where to smoke in the winter time. If you got a day like today, and if you're not working, man, you got to take advantage of it. Smoke outside if you can. If you don't have a smoking lounge or something there, indoors where you're nice and warm. It's winter here, and if you could, smoke like a day like today, you got to take advantage of it out here, which I'm doing. Um, but yeah, like next year for myself, of course, we want to make better bets. Want to still continue to travel. Maybe a career change, right? Or a career enhancement in addition to what it is that I'm doing. Maybe do something else. Maybe change my location, try to get back to the ocean and the West Coast where I always feel happiest. Is in order. Maybe try to reconcile and reach out to my son someplace. Might be in order as well. Uh, that's something that I might try to do. Like, there are a few other things. Maybe there's no more sip in terms of the alcohol. We kick the alcohol and we just sip and smoke, and we're sipping and smoke on some juices or some what do they call them, virgin drinks. Make some virgin cocktails, and we're having virgin cocktails. And I think cocktails are great with a cigar. Like, even a virgin cocktail, like anything that like has a little complementary flavor or contrasting flavor to the contrasted. That's another big banger. Mm. Yeah, buddy. I'll give you a walk. Don't worry about it. We're gonna go. Yeah, we'll go poopy. Hmm? But yeah, the betting, like I said, we were on the losing side of the betting this year. Not necessarily, I don't know what the percentage of the picks were, but it doesn't matter. It's all about the dollar, and the dollar side was down. I could have had a decent win percentage. I need to start keeping those statistics better. And that's a good idea for DraftKings as well as these other apps, if they can keep a log of that. Is my recommendation to them, of like looking at what your win percentage is, based on various metrics of like, okay, here's how you did, on prop bets. Here's how you did on money lines. Here's how you did on distance props. And here's the overall mean of all your bets of how you're doing. Like, if they could add those statistics for us as customers, it'd be great, because they have that data. right? I don't know if it'd be in their benefit because a lot of that stuff that they would add, we'd use probably to win more money. But if I were DraftKings, as far as like a feature, if I was a product developer with them, as far as a feature that I would add to um, the platform is like a betting analysis of, because they have that information, they're probably looking at it themselves. But if they provided that same information, because I think you could look at your betting history, like wins and losses and certain things like that. But if they had like numbers and metrics to each particular time, how did you do on parlays last year? How many parlays did you play? What was your percentage winning, percentage losing? Even what was the mean or the number on the that you placed on it? Like you made a parlay at plus 200, you made another one at plus 400, you made a long sharp parlay. What was the average of the parlay bets that you did? And then break even those down, right? I think features of that would be a nice product or a nice enhancement to what they're doing over there. In fact, I'll email them. I'll email those suggested to them of, hey, I think this would be great for us as gamblers if you could provide us with this statistical data of what our activity has been, and see, or even have that as a value add, that you could actually charge $10 or $5 a month for that information. Like if you want this information, we got it. If you want to have this enhanced gambler's profile, you have to pay $10 a month for the enhanced gambler's profile that will give you that statistical analysis. I would pay it. A lot of people probably won't, because at the bottom line, they just care if they're winning and losing, and that's what it's about. But at the same time, if you have information that could help you to strive for, that's what I try to do. I'm not the best at it as much anymore with this whole live presentation, this whole live stream of consciousness isn't always the best for providing the best gambling analysis. But if they could provide that statistical analysis for us, it put a lot of cappers, internet cappers, out of biz, right? If like look at UFC stats, if we had that with UFC stats, but you don't have to have UFC stats. If you have your own sort of gambling metrics and gambling stats, as a gambler, and I could go back and do that with it. That's the other thing about playing with tickets and doing cash. If I were diligent, I could keep a log or an Excel spreadsheet of all of that. I could just make an Excel spreadsheet every week of the particular types of bets I made, the amounts I made it in, and the odds I had. I could have that data myself. Oh, go and get him. Who's that? Here. There he is. I hear him. Go kill him. Kill. Attack. You're the boss. You're the boss of the neighborhood. Come on, he's in your turf. Huh? Yeah, he doesn't like he's getting older, the old guy. He's going blind in one eye, going blind in the other one. It's not as aggressive anymore. You would hear that dog, and he used to like, I'm going to go and attack that dog. I'm going to bark at him too. It's over by my fence. Not real. That's the other thing about smoking cigars. You get these ideas, you get time to like contemplate silly things. It's a good part about the cerebral nature of cigar smoking. It sort of can encourage the intellectual, encourage the artistic, encourage the entrepreneurial, encourage just an awakening in yourself, right? Of just contemplation, whether it's in yourself, in the world, in your relationships, and the interpersonal, right? You could think of all those things, and you have time when you're sitting with the cigar to relax and think about those. And just be happy. It's the best part about smoking cigars. Like, look at me. Look at the life. Sitting down, I'm not working with my dog. Right? He's just happy. He's just chilling out. Right, Rio? Drinking a beer, smoking a cigar. Life is good. Things are good. I don't have to be a millionaire, a billionaire to, have peace, tranquility, and find things. Look at your situation and make the best out of it. And that's what we try to do even with our gambling, right? We all don't have to be high rollers. My best thing, my best characteristic gambling is turning that $30, even starting with $30 in bet and turning it into $300. So that's I love doing that. Keep it rolling. I'm like, well, I'm going to take my profits and I'm going to keep the original $30 I did, and I'm going to bet the rest of it, even though I won $150 off my first $30 bet. Boom, I'm going to double up on this other thing. Love doing that. It's my favorite. Thank you, Rob. I say those are my best days gambling. Is when you start with a couple $10 bets early in the fights, and you win those first few. That's why those first fights, the first bets that I make, if I bet early, are so important to me, because then I'm like, oh, now I got more ammo. I didn't have to break the bank or get in to betting, my initial bank. Like, even if I have a bank of 400 to gamble that day, I won't put the whole 400 up right away, right? I'll start on a couple early, $10, $20 bets or $30 bets. I'll bet $100 early, maybe, and try to win some of that. And then oh, awesome. I don't have to worry about the 400. I'm going to keep it at these $30 increments on these other bets that I have, because out that $30, I've already won $100 profit. So now I'm betting with house money. So I'm going to use that house money to really try to go for something. And a lot of times what happens is you lose a good part of it, but you still double up. You still, at the end of the night, you might make a couple $30 bets out of that 100, and you still have $40 profit, right? If you lose two of those $30 bets, right? And you could choose to keep that profit, $40, or roll it, the initial $30. So, why is it trying to reconnect? So, again, we look at this year as far as the MMA gambling. Let's look at our methodology. Let's look at and delve down into how it is that we're gambling, right? If we were just throwing long shots, a lot of us don't think about those things. What are our tendencies and our habits in our gambling decisions? And let's analyze those, and let's try to pin down what we're better at, what we're doing, our successes are, and what our failures were, right? And it's hard to in hindsight to say, oh, $100 on, Tony Ferguson was a dumb idea. And you justify it well, I got 3-1 money on it. Big dog. Big mistake. Same with Kobe. 180, well, that's one of my plays that I work on right there. One of the 200s. It's a plane I work on right there. Little small plane. Thin, very small little jet. Old ass jets, man. So, again, guys, I'm still keeping the people going. If you made it this far, you are about better. I doubt anybody even makes it this far. I'm going to still keep this up on the page, not inebriated and just complete jibber jabber, even though I'm jibber jabbering and I'm just going. And I'm still going because I have a cigar still. There's not a lot more to say. There's not a lot more to say. Let's try to go bigger and better for next year. Let's finish the year. There's still a few days to finish strong in terms of enjoying Christmas with your family, enjoying the holidays with your family, doing better with your coworkers and workers in the workplace and your professional life, finishing the year on a happy note. I know it's tough for people around the holidays because you're seeing like the best of other people, and you're comparing yourself and probably beating yourself down. Like, let's finish the end of the year not beating yourself down, not putting yourself down, not contemplating like your failures, but looking forward to your successes for the next year. And you don't have to be super aggressive about it. Little steps, baby steps towards those successes, changing some stuff up. Let's have a good MMA year, good events coming up. Along with this betting stuff, sometimes. Well, there's another one of our planes, 175, American Airlines 175. Another thing that we lose is how good the fights were, right? Don't lose sight of, like, when you're gambling, sometimes you're just focusing on your winning and losing, and you're not enjoying the performances of the fights. And we're all MMA lovers. We all enjoy the art of fighting, and don't lose sight of that even though we're about the money, it's still a good sport to watch and enjoy from the perspective of the fighters. They're putting on a performance for us like anybody else would, like dancers or ice skaters or football players or professionals. We're seeing things that are incredible, and don't lose sight of the artists, the martial artists. If you're a fan of somebody, reach out and say, hey, I'm a big fan. Even though it's corny, send something to them, right? If you see them in the streets, oh man, big fan. They love it. They love it. They might think they're bothered. They love it. Even athletes love it. And if they don't, then hey, they're an asshole, right? They got to realize, like, we're the ones that sort of pay their salaries, right? We're there. We help them. The more fans they have, the more successful they are, both in the ring and especially outside of the ring. Like, look at Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley, even before he was a champ, was one of the most successful MMA fighters ever. And it's because he's developed a fan base to help sustain himself. So don't lose appreciation of the art of fighting. Go join the gym. I should go back to training again. Go join a gym. Support the community. Support your local tobacconist, your local cigar shop. Beer, same thing. Support, if you got a good shop where you get your beer at, support them. Support local. Support some of these smaller online people, right? There's like Privada Cigars that offers like online cigars that has good cigars, and they have a little cigar program. If you want to go that route, go that route. I'm fortunate I got a cigar shop by my house, like so close that, like I said, if my buddy came over right now and he's like, well, give me a cigar. What do you got cigars? I'm like, dude, I've had a few beers, but drive me over. I got the best cigars in town. Let's go. It's like 5 minutes away. I got the best collection that you'd want. Go to Norwood Park Cigars right here in Chicago, and I could spend up to $150 a cigar, or $10, $7 a cigar, and we're gonna get good shit. Like, he's got everything there. I don't need to hop in my stash, or I could. I'm saying, like, let's get something special right now. I'll save my special ones that I got, and we'll go to Norwood Park and we'll get some special ones there, and do that. Your cigar's still burning. Awesome. Don't bite me. You hear a dog? You hear him? You hear a dog? Can't smoke real. It's not overpowering at this point. It's not bitter. It's not burning hot. Still very smooth. Has a little flinty edges there, but still burning very well. Well, Macanudo, well-made cigars, a staple of the industry. Don't be afraid to smoke. Like there's plenty of these boutique cigars or newer cigar companies. Support them as well, but don't forget, like there are these cigar companies like Macanudo, like Partagas, like H. Upman, uh, La Gloria Cubana, Arturo Fuente. There are these other well-established cigar brands that still make incredible, great product at a great price as well. Like you don't have to. Uh, uh, like it's nice to have these, um, you know, boutique cigar brands, but horrible, horrible. So disappointed, so disappointed. Hold cigars, very disappointed. No, 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 no. So disappointed. Because the cigar is still very smokable. I'm still gonna finish it off camera, guys. Been a pleasure. If you made it this far, you are about better. Have a happy New Year and happy holiday. If I don't see anybody until the New Year, have a better year. Share, like, comment, subscribe. Let's go. Let's go. Let's make some things happen for yourself next year. Have a good time. All doing well. We are about betters. We all are about betters. Peace, love, happiness. Thanks, guys. Get down. Oh, you need help?